Hey, how's it going? We do a monthly update. Um, in the description, you can catch me at Stimit. And MedVed Trader is what I'm using as a program. And what's exciting about MedVed is he just started doing the API uh, price feeds for Poloniex and Bitfinex. And I think he's going to add another feature with Bittrex, I believe. So all the big volume hitters for cryptocurrencies. And a good thing about MedVed is you can trade equities as well with your favorite broker. Anyways, catch me on Stimit if you can. Please like, share, and comment when you get a chance. What I like to do, I haven't done a video for this channel. I wanted to, I've been just busy with my regular stuff. We do some live trading every morning for equities on the open. You can catch me at Stimit on those. Also on DTube. I'm going to upload to DTube and eventually stop using YouTube because of the censorship and just all the rules and regulations and crap. Anywho's, we're going to look at monthly charts. Monthly candle just came out. Here we have clam. I got my core value in clam right now. My trading's, this is not investments. This is trading, technical analysis. Okay, so anything I say is based on technical analysis, not any hype or, invest in this kind of stuff. It's going to be all technical. What we're looking for is a monthly chart breakouts. Now, the reason why the longer term breakouts are important is the longer the term of the price pattern break, the bigger the moves. So monthly closes are very important. Here we have clam, and you can see on the monthly chart on the corner here. Right now I have the weekly open, I have the half-day chart open, and I have the monthly chart open. My indicators are mainly the T3s, which are moving averages, the exponential moving averages, the 8, the 13, and the simple moving average, the 13, or the 34, excuse me. 34 is my trend on the long-term charts or on any chart. So, for instance, on clam, trying to break out on the top there, on the outside of that price pattern, and I wanted to change trend. And what I mean by changing trend is a pop over the 34, back into the 34 for a bullish retracement. That's my favorite move. You'll hear me say that over and over and over again. What I'm looking for is a pop over the 34, back into the 34 for support, trend support, changing the trend. The 8 is probably the most important for me to hold support on the way up and to break resistance on the way through. So you can see on the monthly, I got a 2-bar pattern last month. 2 months ago, I had a bullish run into resistance, into the previous highs. And now I'm waiting for it to make a decision on the up. Didn't really make a nice hard decision on the open. It did open up, and that's something to watch for. When the new candles come out, did it open up? Did it open down? Because usually momentum carries. Momentum is very important in technical analysis. So clam doesn't have a lot of volume going on. I believe, where is, it's only traded 751. Now, MedVed is a little different than Polonex, but it is a lot better. We don't have a 24-hour rolling percentage change, 24-hour rolling volume change. I have a 30-day average volume and a daily volume. The daily candles change, so does all the information here. So what I'm looking for is cherry picking. So you can see the green boxes popping up. The green boxes, those are on their highs. BCN always open on their highs, seems like. Strat, it's on its highs. Then I'm watching for volume. I'm looking for volume breaks on the daily, volume breaks for the 30-day average. It doesn't always have to break out, but I'm looking for strong volume. Volume is key, right? Price and volume, technical analysis, price and volume, momentum, price patterns. So let's start from the top. On the open, so far I got SYS. All right, so let's check that monthly chart. You will find these monthly chart breakouts here soon. You can spot them very clearly. So it looks like SYS bouncing off a trend on the monthly needs to come back above the 8 and the 13, above previous highs, and this little previous high break, which is in and around 5. So is it ready? I don't know. But a lot of charts are breaking and coming into a bottom on the daily. So we'll have daily pops. So you look at the double bottom. Look at that nice little hammer here into the 8. That's resistance on the way up. Resistance came consolidated across the 8. Now we might get a push across the 8 here soon. I'm going to throw it out there and say this is going to be the monthly chart bounce. A lot of charts are coming back into the bottoms, bouncing off the bottoms, bouncing off the bottoms. I'm looking for monthly chart breaks. Oh, look at that. BTS just popped its head up. See how easy it is just to cherry pick these things? BTS coming into a double bottom, over the 8, into the 8. Look at this little price pinch where the 13 and the 8, those are both resistance support, and then it's going to pop. That looks good. It's got good opening volume. It's on its highs. So on MedVed, I am going to, you can see I've been trading this for a while. I'm going to erase my other alerts. I have trendline alerts here. I'm going to just right click. I'm going to click on the set alert. I'm going to say okay, because I already set my default settings for my alerts. I'm looking for a previous high break across that half-day chart. Let's move it down to a 60-day or a 60-minute chart. Very easy. Quite literally, it's pushing across the 34, so maybe put my order in at support. And keep an eye on that. I've been watching it for a few days, looking for a bottom here. And the daily bottom is in. I'm waiting for a previous high break, candle style. Previous candle break. Boom, boom. It's right there. It's getting close. It's in a pinch. Call that the price pinch. Where price is between support and resistance, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, like a little corkscrew, and then pop. It has to make a decision up or down. You can see the monthly chart coming all the way back into support. Look at AMP, just popped its head up. That is a pusher. Look at the gap open. Came back into support. Previous high breaks, looking for it real sweet and smooth. I'd have to take out this double top. So you either buy at support or you buy the breaks. And then I have momentum here. It's my momentum indicator here. Oversold, overbought, momentum. Daily looks good, popping over trend. Let's get this thing popping. This one looks good. Looking for previous high breaks, looking for volume. I think we went to S. These are going to change over and over again. Maybe I should change it to alphabetical, but we'll just keep going here. The market opened, the daily candle changed about 2.5 hours ago. So XPM, you can see on the monthly chart, it's just all the way back in from the previous breaks, right? Ran for 1, 2, 3, 4 months, came all the way back in, 1, 2, 3. Now this is the 4th month. I'm looking for the bounce on the monthly charts this month. Not because it's 4 up, 4 down, but because it came all the way back into previous breaks. Okay, and it's been on a nice little tear for the past few days. So I'm looking for a chart break. Let it come back into support if it needs to. It did run quite a bit. Nice little pop off that daily chart. Look at that long consolidation across the 8 into the 13, and then it popped. See the volume pop in out of an oversold situation. Let's take a look at the weekly, because it is a weekly close too. The weekly close on cryptos is tomorrow, actually. So yeah, sorry about that. Sunday night. Monthly candle came in today. Tomorrow will be the weekly candle. Sunday night. So it's going to be coming out of a oversold situation. As soon as that happens on a weekly chart, I think this thing's going to be popping. At least back into resistance in and around 12 at the top there. So it could be a nice little, where is it? 4? Could be about 3 times. 300% average over the top there. What? Crazy. Cryptos are crazy. Watch the volatility. Back to Strat. Strat's poking its head up. It's going to be a battle. Let's see here. Strat's still on its lows. Could be a good time to invest. Looks like we opened up on the monthly. It's way on its lows. 60-minute chart had a little pop on the open. Let's change this back to a half-day chart. Nice little hammer. Previous high break. Stay above the hammer. It might be a nice support line there. Nice support on a hammer. I'm not quite sure why my candles are overlapping a little bit. Maybe because I got too much data in one window. But you can see that hammer there. In the previous high break, the hammer, the top half of the hammer is great support. So keep above, was it 103.44? So get pop, POT. I know nothing about these cryptos. I wouldn't have the slightest time in the day to even research maybe once a week. So this might be some rinky-dinky thing. But what I'm doing is watching for chart breaks, pattern breaks, and momentum. So this thing has to recover quite a bit on the monthly, or it's going to flop over. You can see the bottom falling out, crossing over the 34. So I need a quick recovery on this. The daily looks great. Could get a nice recovery. But if momentum carries, this thing can flop over for a leg down. It's got good OBV. It's coming out oversold on the daily. Watch the intraday charts. So set your alerts. BTM. I'm looking for a previous high break on there. I already set my alert. Not a lot of volume going on. So watch out for the ones that don't have any volume. Could be stuck in it. BTS, again, looks pretty good off a bottom. I'm looking for a nice bounce on BTS. Broke out, came all the way back in. These things going to pump. Once it consolidates, it's going to pump. Boom. Can't wait. I've been trying to get as much money in here as possible. And I'm not talking about a lot of money either. A lot of money for me, but maybe not for you. Looking for a pattern break on here. BRC. BRC on that monthly chart looks great. I'm hoping for a nice continuation off of that bottom bounce. Follow that wick all the way up. Let's break that previous high. Break that previous high. Get up into the next previous highs. And ultimately just really just pump this out. I'm looking at a reverse head and shoulders on this thing. So I'm looking for a nice little gain on this in the future. Either buy at support or take out the previous high. That's a double top. It needs to take it out. Looks like the intraday chart is breaking here soon. Momentum is going to carry across. But the momentum has to carry even further. But even better is the daily. The daily has a nice reverse head and shoulders. So watch for the right shoulder sling back if you're with me on the daily opens on equities on the live videos. I always talk about that right shoulder sling back on the reverse head and shoulders. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder. The right shoulder always slings back. Not always, but watch for it. You can pick up on the cheap like the big boys do. That's a nice pattern. I'm watching for this price pattern break. I'm looking for volume as well. It's on its highs. Could be a nice little popper of VRC. VTC, nice reverse head and shoulders, already popped. Came back in the support. I'm looking for a continuation this month. Look at the monthly chart. Some monthly charts are on their lows. Some monthly charts already came into their lows and they're bouncing. Watch for the monthly charts that are going to be breaking out over the top. I think that this is going to be the monthly chart bottoms. And there's a handful out there that are going to be breaking their tops. The flat top breaks. This is one of them. I'm watching on this one. It's got low volume. But see, at the end of the price patterns, everyone just gives up on it. There's no volume anymore. And then all of a sudden, wham! Boom, boom time. XRP, this is the centralized cryptocurrency by the bankers. Going to replace the SWIFT system, or in competition to replace the SWIFT system. I got a double bottom off a hammer. Previous high break could be a nice time to just pick this thing. Finger looking good right there. Stay above the previous highs on that candle. The candle high on the hammer has great support. So it's coming back in support here. Stay above there. Ultimately stay above the previous double bottom. I'm looking for a nice reversal on this on XRP. It's got great volume. But I want to trade it because I want to take some money back from the bankers. If this is a banker crypto, I want it. I want it. I'm going to take it back. AMP, I think we mentioned this. Watch for previous high breaks. It's coming. Nice little chart volume break. It's coming at the end of the patterns on some of these daily charts. On AMP, it's coming all the way back into a bottom. I've got previous high breaks coming on the intraday. Actually, on the intraday, it looks great. Look at it, broke the 34. Now it came into a double bottom, held 50% of the previous candle, which is momentum. So it's got great momentum. If this breaks previous highs, consider it a good purchase, staying above the previous high candle. I like to see it take out the previous high of the day, above the previous high of the previous candle. Ultimately, this is staying above the momentum mark, previous momentum. Stay above 50% of the long candles, and you can keep momentum on the upside. So it broke the 34, did not come all the way back into support. That's another reason. If it doesn't come all the way back in and it turns on a dime, those are explosive. And look at the daily chart. It's going to be ready to pop out of that pattern there. Right over the 34. It can get a nice gust of wind out of this. Open up the sails here. AMP. I wonder if anything popped above me. LBC. LBC. Hooked its head up. See this another one on its lows. Intraday chart says it's popping. It's got a lot of work to do. You can see the daily, it's below the 13, 8, and 34. So it's got a lot of work to do, but it looks like it has higher lows. And with that, it has a downward trend line and it's in the pinch. So watch that for a break on the upside. It's on the low. Could break down, no problem, but I think that things are coming into a bottom. BCY poked its head up. Let's keep on going here. Coming off a double bottom. Nice little U-turn. Nice little U off the intraday chart. A lot of work to do on the daily, on its lows, on in the monthly. Looks like it broke down below the previous pattern break. It's got a lot of work to do, but it looks like it's recovering nicely on the half-day chart. Now it's going to start getting confusing for me. VRC, yes, we looked at that one. BTC, yes, we looked at that one. Game, another monthly chart. Looking for a turn on this bad boy. It bounced pretty nicely off that 34. Look at the daily. I'm looking at a reverse head and shoulders there. Left shoulder, head slinging down. Right shoulder slinging back into the support line. Looks like it opened up. I got a nice little sharp reverse head and shoulders off of the intraday. Watch for a pattern break. Nice consolidation there. I got a left shoulder high, neck, and the right shoulder. It's not perfect, but it has that trading pattern, and patterns seem to follow each other. So I got a daily, ultimate daily here, and probably see it better with the weekly. Nice little hammer off that weekly. You can see that it's just straight away. Stay above that hammer. Actually, on the weekly, it's coming into resistance, so it might have to consolidate for a while. But look for a pop above the 8. Resistance on the way up. Change that trend. Daily looks good. Daily popped. It's coming back into support. Little stair step into the 8. Hold that 8. Carry on. Follow that 8 all the way up. It's a nice reverse head and shoulders on the daily. But my point was, the pattern continues. Even in the indicators, you got a nice little reverse head and shoulders there. Not perfect, but you can see the patterns continue through the chart. PPC, see if I miss anything on the way up. XPM still on its highs. I'm waiting for claim. Waiting for claim. Still holding support. Sorry, I gotta keep an eye on my core. My trading strategy is my core value. I trade it. make a profit, I leave my shares running. Take my core back out, find another one. I want to own them all. PPC coming off its lows on the daily, coming off its lows, previous high breaks all the way up, all the way back in. You can see the previous high. It's all the way back in. I'm looking for a turn, a bounce off the monthly charts. And when the monthly chart bounces, you can see maybe the daily just really just wow. So on the monthly chart, you can see just peekaboo chart. The 34 is my goal. I need to get back up into the 34 and then pop the 34 on the monthly. Well, that 34 is sitting at 4765, 4762. So that's way up here, right? That's gonna be a nice bounce. The thing is, these things are way stretched beyond belief, all the way down, stretch, and then somehow the rubber band breaks, and it comes back to an equilibrium. That bounce is what I'm looking for. Back into equilibrium, back into that 34. Natural course of return. Pop, 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 pop. I'm thinking that this is going to be the month for the bounce. The bounce. Trying to see if anything poked its head up. Steam, follow the line here. Follow the line. Steam had a few days here. Good days. 1, 2, 3 days. 1 day back. Looks like it's consolidating after its move. You can see the move into resistance and then coming back into support. Let's take a look at that monthly chart. You can see the pop. And it opened above the 34. Look at that. Changing trend. Opened above the 34 on the monthly chart. I like it. I like it a lot. Now the intraday chart here has a head and shoulders top, so be careful on the downside for a couple days as the pump came into resistance and now it's going to come back into support. So it was a nice little pump, but right now on the intraday chart, I'm looking at a head and shoulders top. It could take a leg down into support. And then what we're looking for is a pop over 3.6. We need to get above 3.6 and hold. LBC NXT, that popped its head up earlier today on a watch. We're doing a watch on this bad boy. Look at the move across the 8 into the 13.8 for a double 2-bar pattern, and now it's continuing. Watch for the continuation on NXT daily chart. It's going to be a nice little bounce. Another little bounce, another little bounce. Trying to make it easy for everybody. Over the 8, into the 8, over the 8, into the 8. Watch the previous high breaks into the 34 for resistance. And you can see those previous lows coming in right where the 34 is. These are magical to me. I use them all the time for about 15, 20 years. Over resistance back into support. 2-bar reversal for a candle reversal. Watch for the previous high breaks. Easy deasy. Has great volume. It opened up. Intraday chart says, I need to erase my crap on the intraday, but let us see. I think this was for a previous break. You can see that previous break there. Let me erase that. I'm looking for a previous break here above previous highs. Now watch this because it could be turning into a whatchamacallit, head and shoulders top. I got the left shoulder. I got the head. I got the right shoulder coming in, and then the bounce back into support. So if I don't get enough volume to get over resistance, it's going to come back in. Because through time, momentum dies and it just flops back in. And that is just a classic head and shoulders top off of that intraday chart. Let's see. Did I miss anything? Popping, popping, popping. Nope. Let's continue downward. Dash. Dash is a great monthly chart to watch. This is probably one of the best. One of the best. Watch for a previous high break. I got previous highs above here. Previous high breaks at 77. Previous high breaks. It's going to have previous high breaks all the way up. Once we get past above 8, then we have these small little wicks to take care of. And I believe that it'll just follow that wick all the way up. Once we break the ultimate high, then it's gangbusters. Now, one thing about this monthly chart on Dash is someone is accumulating it. I got higher lows and higher highs. Okay, that's accumulation. Consolidation, accumulation style. You can get accumulation on the downside too when it turns and it starts to curve back in. You can see the reverse head and shoulders here. Left head, right shoulder, come back in, and then another right shoulder for just a double check. Let me erase my crap on the monthly. I need to stay above the 8. It certainly could come all the way back in, but watch it for a previous high break. I'm not saying buy it now. I'm saying find it at support on the intraday charts or take it for a previous high break. Watch for the turn here. I could turn at any moment. NXT, PPC, boom, 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 BTM. I got it, I got it, I got it. Let's follow the line. VCP. A lot of work to do on this one, but it is a double bottom. It's turning on the intraday. It could just be a matter of time before this starts popping on everyone's watch list. I'm not quite ready to do anything with it. But you can make a little pocket change sometimes when it's popping. It's got low volume. It has low average volume. So you can see that hardly anybody are trading it. MAD. This has a nice reverse head and shoulders pattern. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder sling back. You can see that sling back. I'm looking for a pump sometime as it slings all the way back to shake everybody out. Looking for the intraday. I got higher lows, previous breaks, previous lows. I'm looking for resistance at previous lows. So once it breaks into previous lows, it could ride the range and then ride the range. It's got a lot of work to do. But when those things sling back really hard and fast, watch out. Watch out. Watch out. Momentum will carry across those resistance lines. It's like I got things closing on their highs. Watching, watching, watching. Let's see if we can get a XPM that could just break out while we're watching. BTS, just real close. Watching volume. These are all closing on their highs today. So that get the Medved Trader. This watch list, I've been using it forever. It's to die for. To die for. And there's so much more you can do with it. I just try to keep it simple. Percent change, the last, the volume, and the average volume. Price and volume. Technical analysis right there. Neos. Not Neo, Neos. You can see Neos come all the way back in on the monthly chart. Excuse me, I need more coffee. Do I have any left? Oh, I got a little bite here. Hang on. EOS has got a lot of work to do. It's coming into an oversold situation. A good thing about this oversold situation, once it comes out of oversold, it could take a nice little jump. So we'll watch it. AMP looks like it has a higher highs here. AMP might be the winner today. Might just be the winner. It just catch up right past that XPM push. Look at that, huh? Easy deasy. XRP looked at it. Game looked at it. ZEC. ZEC. Look for the monthly chart first. We got a monthly chart close. This run that last week was just huge, right? Huge run on that daily chart. Huge. Into previous lows. And it's coming all the way back in to find its support. That support on the way down is the 8. That 8 is also coinciding with previous highs. So let's just draw a line where that previous 8 is. And I got previous lows here. I got previous highs here. So let's find support on this. It is already pumping. It pumped once. It changed the trend on the daily. That's the beauty about it. So now that the daily trend is changed, we are going to be watching for the monthly chart to start to change. And actually the weekly chart, look at that inverted hammer over support, just marvelous. I imagine it's going to follow that wick up here shortly. I got a double bottom on the monthly. Don't mind my monthly moving averages. Sometimes it just doesn't coordinate very well through time on the monthlies, because a lot of times these cryptos are very new, and those averages haven't had time to coordinate. But I do have the 34 working in and around 23. It is at 6. All right. Its natural course of return is hit that 34 eventually. So imagine that. I mean, buying it at 6 off this double bottom support, which is about 4.5, and then carrying all the way to the 34 on the monthly chart, which is all the way up to 24. I mean, geez, these things are gonna pop. I think if you thought the last run was good, you ain't seen nothing yet. 3 months ago, those pops, I think these things are gonna just, we're gonna get wrecked with money. It's gonna be silly fun. We've got lots of time to waste though. These are monthly charts that take forever to come into fruition. Could take 6 months, could take a year. Monthly charts. DGB, I think we have this on the watch list earlier. Nice little open. Look at the previous high break coming on DGB. Right? Right. Over the 34, back into support. Watch the previous high breaks. Right over the 34 to change some trend on the intraday chart. Let's just look at this on a 60-minute chart to see how nice that reverse head and shoulder is. I got the left shoulder, head, right shoulder, right over the 34. Watch for the head fake. Look at the indicator, putting in a nice little left shoulder head, right shoulder accumulation right here, right? Watch for the breakout on DGB. Good volume as well. Good average volume. Good average volume, good daily volume so far. Closing up. And I'm absolutely silly with this. I'm not freaking kidding. the monthly break, chart break, and then the come back all the way in for consolidation. Watch these things. Watch them close. What am I missing here? Miss anything popping? BTM on its highs again. APM closing higher. APM for the win. You can see him climb. I think APM for the win. Watch DGB. I mean, we got a whole bunch of them that are ready. Seriously. BLK. Not a lot of volume, but it's a creeper. I've seen this thing creep and just pop. There's a nice consolidation. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder coming in above the 34 now on the daily. Stay above the daily. Consolidate as long as you want, little boy. Boom. It's boom time. I think this is our month. I wouldn't be doing this video one after another. I know I'm missing one. Neo Stash. GNO popped its head up. Previous high breaks coming. Boom, boom, boom. Take my alert. This GNO is a new feature, new issue on Polynex, so I apologize. I'm not a lot of data to show on the monthly, but you can see the daily pop across the 34 and now the accumulation. Again, the accumulation. Higher highs, higher lows. Watch it break out of that pattern right there. Huge. Boom time on GNO. Low volume poppers. Okay, BCH. BCH. Looks like Bitcoin is taking the high road on this BCH fork that it had. I would definitely own some BCH. I wouldn't just throw it away. I wouldn't trade out. I would hold it for the long term. But it's having some troubles. I think Bitcoin is showing its gusto, and BCH is in the mud. It is going sideways here, back and forth, back and forth. Let's pop across the 8 on the intraday. Let's stay above the intraday. And you can see it's not across the 8 on the 60-minute. Let's see where the half-day chart shows us. Definitely way below the 8. So my point is, start with the lower intraday charts, start building. Get over the 8 for support, and then move on up. See on the 15-minute, we're above the 8. Nice little consolidation over the 813, popping over the 34 on the 15-minute. So you can get a nice little pop. Boom, 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 boom. Not sure if we covered this one or not. But same dealio. Crossed over the 34, came back into support. Look at it, popped last month and came all the way back into support. That's an inverted hammer over support. I've got a lot going on over here. Let me erase some of my crap. Sorry. I got higher lows. I got that inverted hammer that popped on the weekly. It's got some work to do on the daily, but I think it's just stretching its legs. I got 2-bar pattern on the intraday. 2-bar pattern over the 8, into the 8. Watch for the previous high breaks. Let's see if we can't get this thing, the trend change in the next few days. Nice inverted hammer over support on the monthly close. Do not neglect the inverted hammers over support. Hammers are better, but inverted hammers are nice. Very nice. Oh, come on. It looks like I don't have any data on the monthly on this anyways. CVC is a new issue for Polynex. You can see on the daily, it's only been out for a few. Oh, I got higher lows. I'm looking for a trend change across the 34. So very crudely, it's in a pattern. Make sure support holds. Looks like that just turned green on me. Intraday chart, I got higher lows with a little whipsaw. Over the 8, into the 13, maybe crossing the 13 into the 34 back into support. Once it breaks into previous lows, it usually rides up that range. Omni. Where is my monthly chart? Oh my god, why is it doing this? Why? Oh, it does not like me. Very, very sensitive. Okay, Omni. Previous breaks, right? Previous breaks. Had a nice little run on this bad boy. Came all the way back into support. Boom time. Consolidated. It's going to finish its consolidation one of these days, and look at the intraday chart. Higher lows. Previous breaks. Take it. Take it like a man. That's a nice little chart off of the intraday. That's a half-day chart, 196 minutes. I don't know if that applies to the 24-hour charts, but it gives me a nice little peak, like a 4 or 5 hour chart would. There you go. If I did the math in my head, I would probably combust into flames right now. I'm not thinking in math terms here. I'm looking in patterns, looking for patterns. Daily, I got higher lows. Right, let's break this pattern. I mean, come on. Come on. Low volume. Watch the volume. Always watch the volume. Let's see. I know I got some stuff popping above me, and I don't see it. Nothing yet. GNO, we already did that one. SBD, some Steam Dollar. Now, in my Polynex, I don't own Steam or Steam Dollars because I got a Steemit account, and I got my money over there. So I'm going to leave these blank while I fill the other ones up. But this one popped the other day, but now it's coming all the way back into support. So you can see the trend line, right? You can see the trend. That 34 is my trend. It's my friend. And then it popped at 34, made a peak, came back into support. So the consolidation, I call it the bullish consolidation. Once it pops over the 34 back into support, that coming back into support, the stair step or the U, it's the bullish consolidation. If it pops below the 34 and then it comes back into resistance, that's the bearish retracement back into the 34. Big difference, but you can trade both ways. It's got some work to do. Let's get above this previous hammer. I got a hammer, inverted hammer, and then it made a low. A, B, bottom. Could be just an elaborate start of a left shoulder, head, right shoulder scenario. Things are popping. Look at the top of the list here. I'm not too concerned about BCN because it always, at the beginning of the day, BCN and Dogecoin always pop their head up for a percentage volume gain. I'm thinking AMP for the win today, at least for the first half. The ZEC opened high, opened up. It's closing on its highs. Look at ZEC. I mean, it's got low volume. It just runs. I mean, oh man, bomb. It's the bomb. Nice intraday bottom. Look at that intraday bottom there. Previous high break. Where's my resistance? Previous low. It's at resistance here, here, here. Previous lows on the way up. It's got a lot of work to do after that pop, but it looks like it's bouncing. Like a double bottom bounce. Right above the 8. Very nice. And you can see the volume on it. I mean, it's just creeping, right? Creeping. Where was I? ETH. Looking for a turn on ETH for sure. I mean, I don't know if it's done yet, consolidating though. I mean, let's change this to a weekly. Let's make sure we got our monthly showing. Weekly, way back when, I think even on one of my last videos, 2-bar pattern reversal. It's been coming down. It broke the 8, came back into the resistance. That's a bearish retracement back into resistance. Bearish retraced over the 13, back into the 13, came all the way back down into a nice little hammer off the 34. It's holding support now. I'm looking for a turn. I need to get above the 8, start working it. Nice work. It does have a flat bottom. It could take a leg. You can see that leg visible because it's it's still not. If it crosses the 34, watch for a leg down into previous highs. If it breaks those previous highs, it's liable to ride the range on in. And just like everything else, though, everything else that broke out 3 months ago, 4 months ago now, came all the way back down in to previous breaks. So potential, I'm not sure if it's done yet. We could get this nice little turn here and start breaking up on the upside. No problem. But it's not there yet. It's got some work to do. Bella, look at that. Bella popped its head up. Bella popped the other day. Very nice. Look at the inverted hammer over the weekly chart. Ooh. Pop. Over into support. Do not neglect those inverted hammers. Look at the daily chart. Pop. Over the 34, back into support. Boom, boom, boom. Hold that inverted hammer, the bottom side of it, for support. Monthly says it needs to turn or it's going to take a leg. And the intraday looks like it got rejected by the 34, into the 34, and then on down into support. So it's got to hold support. I don't like these flat bottoms. I don't like the flat bottoms. Just like on the flat tops. I prefer the flat tops for the flat top breaks. Double bottoms can break down very easily. But let's see if it'll turn here. Boom, boom, boom. Looks like I got a lot of things going on here that popping their heads up, and I'm missing them. Let's start with ARDR. I missed this run yesterday. I was definitely watching it. I had a previous high break. I missed it. Boom, boom, boom. I had a previous high break. I missed it. Sometimes you just get too busy. But now that it ran, I'm waiting. I see it's not a good idea to chase things. So here's a previous high. Here's the previous highs. It could come back into support. So watch it come into support. That's what I've been waiting for. But see, I waited too long and it popped again. What am I missing? AMP's creeping. XPM is still in the lead. Still in the lead. I think AMP is going to run though, because XMP has been running for a couple days. I think XPM is coming back in eventually. I think AMP is going to take the lead. And it looks like volume is taking the lead on it too. GB, GNO, DCR. Let's see. DCR has a double top. Okay, I remember watching this for a break. I thought it was gonna, oh, this is gonna be huge. No, I got rejected at the double top. Boom, 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 boom. I'm looking for a turn. I got higher lows. It's hanging up right above the 34. Let's get the pop, 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 pop. I got a reverse head and shoulders on the daily. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder sling back. I'm looking for a turn in the intraday. Right? You guys with me? Boom, boom, boom. It's got a lot of work to do. But that right shoulder has come in and it's right above the 34. So let's watch it. I think this is the month. This is the month we're going to get those bounces, those big bounces, one after another, day after day. Boom, boom, boom. RADS. You can see the daily building. Boom, boom, boom. Nice little hammer. 2-bar reversal into the 8, over the 8, into the 8, into the 8 for support. Watch for the previous side breaks to continue. Out of an oversold situation. It does have a head and shoulders top, but it could turn and break that thing. You can see the left shoulder, the head, the right shoulder, and then the comeback. But see, this comeback is very sharp and turning like a little J curve. Little J curve pop. So now we have support though. Even though it's a head and shoulders top, it took its leg, and the whole time it's been consolidating. I got a 2-bar reversal over the 8 into the 13, back into the 8 for support. I'm in between the 13 and the 8 for a back and forth, back and forth, back and forth pop. On the intraday, I'm out of the oversold situation. I got a hammer. I got a hammer. I'm looking for a pop over the 34 to start building this thing. Build, 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 build. And then ultimately, I want to hold support on the monthly. Get over the previous highs on the monthly. And then it's boom time. Boom, boom, boom. Take out those highs. AMP. It's creeping. Creeping, creeping, creeping. XCP popped its head up. Look there. Easy peasy. XBC. This is a big one with low volume. At the end of the patterns, everything just dries up. Everyone just says, oh, I give up. I'm not going to trade it anymore. Ah. That's when you should start watching it. It's not ready for anything yet, but watch for the previous high breaks. I mean, what you got to do? What you got to do? It popped over the 34, came back into support. It's got to hold support. Let's break previous highs. ETH, SVD, Omni. Boom, 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 boom. Follow the line. PASC. I was very excited about this for a daily pop, but it did not break. It got rejected, made a double top. Sucked it. It's a reverse head and shoulders. Not perfect, but it's got that trading action. Left, head, right shoulder. Let's get this right shoulder slinging back. I definitely got shook out of it off that top. And coming back in, I think the trend is going to change eventually. Eventually. It's not ready yet on that one. But it's consolidating on the intraday. Had a pop across the 8 and 13, came back in the supports holding. It's coming out of an oversold situation. PASC kind of just fell apart. I thought it was going to break that daily trend, and it rejected. So looking for a turn on this as well. ARDR. Let me check my clam, make sure I'm okay. I think I'm okay still. Still above my support line. It opened up, I was excited about it, and I don't know where it went. Where did it go? Oh, it's down here. Still waiting for it to pop. Got a nice little whipsaw. It's at support. New hour candle. Intraday candle. Let's see. Let's trade this out. 60-minute. It's above my support line. It's not overbought yet. I'm looking for a pop. The only troubling thing is it did pop, and now it's coming back into support. The only thing holding up is this 3-bar pattern. I need to stay above previous highs. If it doesn't stay above previous highs, momentum might drop and ride that range all the way back in. So I do not want it. If I ever tell you to buy something and you hold it and support does not hold, do not come screaming at me, because over and over again, make sure support holds. If support doesn't hold, you shouldn't be in the trade, because the decision was to buy it, was to go up. If it doesn't hold support, then you're being retarded. And I do the same thing. I get all emotional, thinking everything's going to be going my way. I've been shaken out many times. Trying to follow momentum, that's all. I think I'm starting to get confused. Let's change it up. If there's something that I missed and you want me to watch, let's look at Pink. Pink has a nice monthly chart. Watch that one. I'm in clam. I'm looking for a pop. I'm looking for a monthly chart pop. I like it a lot. What's another monthly chart? I was watching LSK for the longest time, but the daily chart just kind of flopped over. So that has a lot of work to do, but look at the monthly chart, okay? Be cognizant of the monthly charts. This thing is going to be pumping. So just watch. It's above support. It's holding support. It's not too far away from just taking out those highs. Not too far away. And look how volatile that thing is. Once it breaks those momentum spots. I got a left shoulder, head, right shoulder sling back. Let's watch for a turn on this. And that turn's going to come on the intradays. It's oversold on the intraday. Let's get a turn. Okay. I'm trying to think in my head which one is a good. BTCD monthly chart. Look at that monthly chart. Higher lows, previous breaks. Just the other day it popped. Now it's coming all the way back into support on that daily. Watch for volume. NXC. Looking for a previous high break. Looks like it fell over just recently. Let's see. RIC. RIC was going to break out last night. It came all the way back in for the monthly close. It was going to break out big time. These things are building. Build. Pop. It's going to pop. I swear it's going to pop. This one popped, came back into support. So it's gathering its legs, I say. Look for those wicks pointing down. It's gathering its legs. Try again. I got higher low legs. I'm looking for some pops. EMC square. Oh, that was a good runner last month. Boom. Look at the monthly chart breakout. What? I don't have to explain myself, do I? Really? Seriously? I got momentum on the upside. Watch for momentum support coming on up on that 8, where resistance is that previous high, and I got support. Prices opened in between support and resistance. All right, I suspect on the daily chart this is going to have to come back in, but so far on this daily chart I've got a pennant forming. I'm going to gather that it's going to have to come in, gather its legs, and try again. But this thing has been on fire. On fire. Watch for the previous high breaks. Look at the intraday chart. It's building. It's got higher lows. Look for the previous high breaks on 32. Look for 32 on up. And we will have a monthly chart break on this. And you think that daily chart was a big boom? You got nothing coming. You got nothing. This could be a high level pennant forming, consolidating. High level pennant. Could be. That monthly chart breakout. It's going to be big. Okay, now that I'm thinking about monthly charts again, NAV. Look at that last month previous high break. Boom. Came all the way back inside for an inverted hammer above support. Look at the support line. Look where it opened. I'm looking for a turn on this bad boy. I would say take out this hammer here, this inverted hammer. Right there on the upside. Boom time. That's a nice chart. Okay, so I hope you've been writing down all the monthly charts. I think I covered them. Let's look at volume. Doge, BCN, always big volumes. DGB, always big volumes. We haven't looked at SC yet. This way I can handle all the ones I've seen. SC's coming all the way back in. Got a lot of work to do. Needs a turn. I have so far hang above this hammer for support. Let's find a trend. STR, we haven't looked at that one. STR coming on its low. See how it breaks out and then it consolidates in this nice little fashion, stair step, month after month into support the previous breaks. Okay, let's get back above the previous breaks. Let's turn this thing on the upside. Burst. Showing good volume. Over the 34, back into resistance, over the 8, into the 8 for support. I got some support on the daily. Out of the oversold. These things are turning. You can see the daily over the 34, in for a high, into support for a double top. Okay, that stopped it out. Came back into support, broke the 34, but it's been hanging. Hold support. It looks like it wants to turn. Let's get a turn on the intraday, and then we can talk. NXT XEM. Look at the monthly chart on XEM. Boom, boom, boom. I got a 3-bar pattern on the bottom, and I got resistance coming down. So back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. It's going to have to make a decision. I'm thinking on the flat bottoms. That is a triple bottom. But I'm thinking on always when I see a flat bottom, I'm thinking a whipsaw back into support. I'm thinking if it doesn't hold, it's going to take another leg. I'm thinking it's above the 34, so I'm thinking it might just take a leg into support for a little whipsaw. Back across resistance for more support. Other than that, it looks like the intraday wants to take a little pop this afternoon. 2-bar pattern over the 34. Next couple hours will tell us what is going on. It's got to hold this 2-bar pattern as well. FLDC. Looks like the intraday is coming all the way back in. Daily popped into the 34, came back into support, holding. It looks great. Look for the previous high. Look for the daily pops on these ones that are coming into the bottoms on the monthlies. EMC square, we watched it. RIC, we watched it. ZRX, I know nothing about this. That's a new issue on Poloniex. I think I might have traded it just a few times. That is about it. You can see my averages are all screwed up. So I'm going to rely on the intraday chart and see where we're at. Looks like we're in the range. We're not oversold or overbought. But I do have higher lows. And I have lower highs, making a pattern. Stay inside the pattern. GNT. Coming into its lows. Needs to break outside of that on the upside. Pink. Pink has a nice monthly chart. I'm thinking pink is going to be a runner. Look at that monthly chart bounce. Breakout. Breakout, lower high. Ooh. Got to hold and get above previous highs. It broke, came all the way back in, bounced off of that 34. It looks like it could come back in a little bit. It's below the 34 on the intraday. So remember, either break to the upside. If it doesn't do it in a timely fashion, it could just fall over. So it broke, and this is a nice consolidation, but it might get rejected here. Maybe. Looks like AMP's off its highs. Note. Got a lot of work to do on the note. Sometimes these things just come out of nowhere, though. GRC. Nice pop across the 34. It came for a very low whipsaw across the 34 again. I got higher lows. You can see the whipsaw. Across support, back through resistance. This thing is in a very tight spot. So watch for that. Trade that break. Try not to trade in the range. Looks like my clam picked up on support. Let's see. I had clam for support buy. I had a little buy order at support. Looks like I just got picked up. So let's see where we're at. Clam. My support was at I'm gonna have to keep a closer eye on this. I really want to catch a monthly chart breakout. I really do. But I might not get it. I'll have to keep my eye on this. So support will hold. It's below the 34, above the 13 and 8. So it's in a pinch. It has to make a decision. When price is in a pinch, it has to make a decision. Let me take care of this line here. I'll add it later. But I need that line for my, I need it. Let's hold that line here. Oh, pressing the wrong buttons, I need to make sure I hold that line for my alert. I'm going to set it there. This could be just a little bit tighter. No problems there. I had my order in at 21.1. So it came down and smacked me. I got higher lows on my intraday. So I'm building momentum. I need to get a pop. Pop. And take that high out, and then we can talk about taking a monthly chart breakout. Follow that wick all the way back up. Ooh, that looks nice. It looks nice. I can't wait. Anywho's back to volume. Following volume. Steam, we looked at it. Pink, GNT, AMP, Note, GRC, NXC, Black, XPM, LBC, boom, CVC, not. It's not your crypto. Remember that old joke? It's nacho cheese. So on the daily, it came out oversold, came back into support, and looks like it's having some trouble, but hold support because I got resistance coming on in. It could just whip right across that resistance line. Very hard to tell on the daily, on the intraday, but it's on its lows now. So, and the monthly chart's on its lows as well because it's not your crypto. Flow, do we watch for a little flow? Flow might be coming off of a bottom. Bella Pot, LTC. Why is LTC way down here? LTC for a monthly chart break. I'm looking for that bad boy. I remember catching this on the bottom on the monthly chart. That was awesome. I think there was a bunch of people laughing at me. I was like, what? You can't see this thing overextended? Not my fault. But on the daily, I'm looking at a head and shoulders top. So look out for a leg down across support lines. It looks like it might have to come into support to gather its legs and try again. It looks like it got rejected off that 8. Make sure we hold. Make sure we hold support. Okay, I don't like these double bottoms. Double bottoms are a bullish pattern. So I'm going to stick with the term flat bottoms. Because if flat bottoms don't hold, then it's not a double bottom. So, and plus it's not really at the bottom. It's not really at the bottom yet. It might need to take a whipsaw. It might need to take a leg. I don't think it's ready. It was ready, but it's not performing. It's not. I like it for the long term, no doubt. No doubt at all. A nice break. Let it consolidate. It's not done consolidating. It's above the 34. It is bullish on the monthly chart. The monthly chart is above trend. Stay above the trend. I'm bearish on the flat bottom daily. but that's because it just needs to gather its legs. And we might have a head or a left head, right shoulder scenario. So hold that flat bottom. It might need to take a leg. Made ETC. Coming to an end. We have to be coming to an end here soon. ETC had a nice little run on daily. Over the 8. Didn't have to come back in. It might have came back in on an intraday somehow. But popped the 8 into the 13. Crossed over the 13. Back into the 13 for support. I got an inverted hammer here. That's not inverted hammer because it broke down below. So let's get kicking. You can see that J curve, and you can see price coming back into for a little splash as it crosses over that 13. It is consolidating. We do have support. And that's why I think that this is going to be a monthly bounce. But it needs some work because look at the intraday. It's fallen over a little bit. So watch. HUC, did we watch this one? HUC for a previous high break on daily. Nice, over the 34, back into support. It's been accumulating, but now the accumulations come into fruition, and it kind of got rejected. We look for come back into support to gather its legs and try again. GAS, this one ran. This one ran pretty good yesterday. This is a new issue as well, so never mind my kittywampus moving averages. Ultimately, you don't need moving averages. You don't need any indicators. You need to watch price and volume. This little pop here, and then the stair step into support, and then the pop. I need to hold support here. It's a new issue on Polynex. Nice. It's not an overbought situation yet. But it looks like I have a double top now on the intraday. It's coming back into support as we speak. OMG. Not sure why we didn't pick up OMG earlier than this. But a lot of people are talking about this one. I thought we were going to get a pop, but I got rejected. I was in it, and I got snickered. It's something that happens. I got snickered. I got snickered on this one. Anyways, I'm looking for a left shoulder, a head, a right shoulder. I'm looking for the right shoulder to hold, and I'm looking for a breakout on the upside this next month. Watching OMG. OMG. Oh, this is way too sensitive for me. This is Polynex is one of the newest additions, so I don't have any monthly chart on here. XMR. Did we look at XMR? Let's get this thing backfilled a little bit. I don't know why it's doing this. There we go. XMR, look at the previous high break coming back into support this last month. Now we are holding just below support. Let's get this thing kicking. I need to hold support on the way down. Let's stay above previous highs on the way up. When I have a previous high break, I'm using that as my support. So I got previous high support. Previous high support. Do I have previous high support here? Not quite. So I'm going to leave it there. It broke out, came back into support the next kick. You can see the daily chart just fell over like a rock. crossing over the 34, got rejected through time at the 8. I need to hold. Need to hold. It's very oversold on the daily. Let's take a look at the weekly. You can see the pop, step into support. I really like the monthly chart. Breakout, the double back is the bullish retracement. So what I'm looking for is a turn and then a continuation. PBC, BTM, BC, XCP, SJCX. Look at the higher lows. Look at the lower highs. Off of a bottom, it's in a pinch. It's in a pinch. I'm gonna intraday alert. Boom. Lots of work that's needed on the monthly, but look at the daily. It's starting to turn. Okay, let's get a pop on the intraday. Let's watch this thing turn around. I got a lot of resistance on the way up on the monthly, but let's do a little carry. REP, I don't think we looked at this one. Coming on its lows. You can see it breaking out and then coming all the way back into these previous breaks. All right, let's get above those previous breaks again. I got a little bit slight higher lows, double bottom looking. Prices above support. Make sure support holds. It could just take another leg down. No telling. That's another thing. Well, let me just finish up here. Let me see if FCT real quick. It's got a lot of work to do on that one. Low volume. Clam. Still a lot of work to do, it looks like. Might just turn over on me. I'm looking at this head and shoulders top that might flop over and under the 8 on the daily. And you can see it just kind of coming in. I need some volume to get it, carry it over. I might just have to settle out and come back in later. I'm looking for a monthly chart break. It might be early. EXP. I'm looking at a reverse head and shoulders there. Left head, right shoulder sling back. Look how far it slings back. It can sling back all the way back in to this head, the high on this candle head. I don't know if you can see it. It can come all the way back into this 2-bar pattern high, right? The previous break. It could, the right shoulder can come literally all the way back in. Watch for those shakeouts. Those are the big boys carrying it down on the bid. I think that's about it. I think I got them. I think I did. I think I did. I think there's about 70 of them. Okay, so finally, let's look at how well we are doing on Bitcoin. Because everything is on Poloniex. Everything on Poloniex is a ratio of that coin. Right? Right now, we are in a overbought situation. But thing is about overbought situations, it can stay overbought for a very long time. What I'm worried about is this falling over out of overbought and coming back into the range here. So that's not happening yet on the daily. Daily is above the 34 now. It's got a very steep high incline across that line. Let's see if it comes, it popped over the 34. I think it wants to come back into the 34. The break I'm looking for is the break of the previous top pattern, which is the left shoulder, the head, the right shoulder. You can see the head or the left shoulder coming across the head, coming back in, and then the rejection here, making the right shoulder, and then the completion across the 34, completing that top pattern. You see that top pattern? came all the way back down into previous breaks. Boom. And 2-bar pattern straight away. Cross over the 8 into support higher low. Found trend. Over the 8 into the 13, back over the 13, into support, into the 34, back over the 34, back into support. Here she comes. I'm thinking it's going to come back into support. Look at the monthly chart. Closed and opened above the momentum. What is going on with this thing? It's a monster. That's right, it's a monster. I'm very thing is, what I was going to mention earlier, we have to keep an eye on Bitcoin, because if Bitcoin falls over, we all fall over. Keep an eye on the left shoulder breakout, which is about 4,500, 4,550, 4,450. Just watch volume coming across that previous high. If we can get over that previous high, it's gonna. Then we just might crack this thing for a new highs coming soon. I mean, jeez. I wish equities would trade just like Bitcoin would, or does. I got a 2-bar pattern and a little high at 44. I'm thinking it's coming back into support. Gather its legs on the open. Watch for previous high breaks this month. Also, watch for support not holding. It could just flop over on us. It is very high. It's amazing. So watch for that. So with that being said, everything that we talked about, these lows, these previous high breaks for the monthly charts, we could just be in another month in a funk. So watch for that. It's already down 50 points on the monthly open. If it does break the momentum on the 8, look for it to hold 50% of the previous candle for the monthly close, just like we did last month. I think it carried momentum. We have momentum. We have support. All we have to do is take previous highs out, and that's the trick. It has to take out previous highs, or it's going to lose momentum and drop back in. So with that being said, that it would be it for me. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Please follow. Apparently, YouTube wants to play games, so what I'm going to do is I'm recording this on YouTube, but I am going to download this directly to DTube. All right. I'm going to put this on DTube. Follow me at RustysMetals. You will find this on DTube. This is the decentralized YouTube. And I got one video up here, and I made 12 cents on it. Come on, what do you got to do? That was a month ago. I was just testing it out. But this one's for real. I'm going to continue doing these videos. So follow me at DTube. DTube is going to upload to Steam automatically. So if you follow me on Steemit, no biggie. Just you can catch me over there as well. But I'm going to start uploading right here. And it looks like Jasper finally showed up. So hi, Jasper, but you came in at the end, I think. I already covered all those. I wasn't watching the chat. So I'll see you. I'm going to post this here right away. Download it, upload it, and talk to you all soon.